I was very struck by the beautiful light which creates an amazing atmosphere in your film. Could you say a few words about how you shot the film? Did you always wait for just the right moment when the sun was at just the right angle and there was a certain light in the room, or did you work with artificial light to a great extent, or how exactly did you do it? Well, before I begin shooting a film, I think as carefully as I can and as precisely as I can about the light for each scene and indeed for each shot in each scene. So I choose the sets and the locations primarily as a function of the light. When I get started, the key principle is for this very violent, sometimes brutal story in many respects, a story which describes a situation that is extremely problematic, all unfurls with a light which is highly refined, highly elegant, highly sophisticated sometimes, so as to create a distinction between the elegance of the description and the horror of what is depicted. I tried to evoke that period as precisely as possible. But there's an important notion, and I think that's what makes the film interesting. I wanted to create a kind of resonance with what we experience nowadays. I would really say that the way in which we experience our lives nowadays, in France at least, I don't know about Russia, perhaps it's different there, but in a certain sense, life as we now know it really began at that period. Employment relationships, gender relationships, the political landscape, the ideological backdrop, as we currently experience it in France anyway. So I was very interested in making a film in which the broad context, the backdrop, would be in those years and in that era, and hence it immediately evokes the kind of situation we experience today as well. So for me, it's not at all a film which is a period film evoking a disappeared world, something that's just vanished with a historical gaze. It's our world in its incipient stage. I take cinema very seriously. It's my life. I think I wouldn't breathe any longer if it were not for cinema. So when I make films, they are very much my films, my own special style, whether you like them or not. They exist the way they exist, and I'm the only one who's responsible for them at the end of the day. The film exists necessarily in its own right.